Yo, what's up guys? Today I'm going to share with you 3 quick tracer tips that I've picked up along the way. It's really helped make things click with her and elevate my gameplay, and I'm sure it can do the same for you. So if you like this type of video, like, comment, subscribe, and maybe I can come up with 3 more tips. All right, let's get to it.
Trying to crash another party, love?
All right, let's hop into the practice range and go over tip number 1. This is something I picked up from Awkward a few years ago in his Unranked to GM series. And at the time, it really helped make things click a little bit for me. So if you've been struggling with her movement, hopefully it'll do the same for you. Try to think of her blinks as an extension of walking. If you're walking forward and blink, you're going to go forward. Walking backward and blink, you're going to go backward. Same for left, same for right. Where it gets a little more complicated, right, is when you start incorporating diagonal movement. So WA is going to bring you forward to the left. SD will bring you back to the right. Easy, sounds simple enough, but very difficult to master. And it's very important too, because let's say you know the stairwell is back to the left and you're fighting here, you can blink back to the left, which is A and S, and blink to get behind cover, get line of sight, and then you can get away to get health packs. So, simple first tip, but hopefully it helps somebody out. Right, tip number 2. This is actually something I learned not that long ago, and since learning it, I've been hitting way more sticks, getting way more value from my pulse bomb. This is a tip I picked up from Melio on his Unranked to GM. So what I used to do, right, is I would try and blink in and get up on him and then lob the pulse. And every now and then that's fine still. I'll still do it here and there, but what I learned from him is that you can throw the pulse and then blink, or kind of pulse blink at the same time. And ever since I learned that, I've been just, getting way more value from my pulse bomb. So I'll show you what that looks like. So I threw it and then blinked, or like super close to throw blink. But it helps you just, boom, get it in. They don't see it. It's not as telegraphed, you know what I mean? So it's a lot harder to dodge, and it feels a lot more consistent. So that's my tip number 2 for you guys. Alright, last but not least, tip number 3. And if you're an experienced player, an experienced tracer player specifically, this is probably going to seem really obvious, but there's new players to playing tracer, right? So it's a different type of play style. Maybe you're used to sniping or staying back behind the tank and shooting, and you're not used to the flank style, getting behind, distracting. So it might not be so obvious to some, but I learned this tip from watching Top Dragons Unranked to GM, and what they stress throughout there is to sandwich the enemy. Sandwich the enemy, and what I mean by that is wait for the team fight to happen, and then come in and try and flank and off angle, shoot from behind, get picks on the support. You want to sandwich them, right? And what that's going to do is either they have to look at your team or heal their own team, or they have to turn around and look at you. And if they're looking at you, they're not shooting your team anymore. They're not healing their own teammates anymore. So have some patience, wait for the engagement to happen, and then try to sneak up behind them and flank. I know when I was a newer tracer player, she's fast. You can get all around the map. And so I would just be in my own little world. I wouldn't worry about the team fight. I would just, try and get behind them and start shooting them in the back before the fight would even happen. And you know what happens when you start playing better players? If the team fight's not happening, they're all going to turn around and look at you. They're all going to know where you're at. So try to have some patience. Wait for the team fight to happen, and then try to come in. Super obvious to some, but maybe not to others. That's my 3rd tip. So if you like this type of video, like, comment, subscribe, and maybe I'll try and come up with 3 more tips, or I'll give you some tips on a different hero. I appreciate you watching. Thanks. See, when our team can stay alive for 2 fucking seconds, I can just look at it.